Hello everyone, this is Maitri Bharadwaj and today I'm going to start the topic eye. We all know in humans the eye it is spherical in shape and the walls it has three layers. The wall of the eye it has three layers. Mainly the outer one is sclera, then middle one is choroid and the innermost that is retina. So sclera which is the external layer. It is a dense connective tissue, right? Then we have second is choroid, which is the middle layer. Middle layer as well as it has the blood vessels, it is bluish in color, and it means the two-third portion, the posterior two-third portion, that is at the back side. The posterior two-third portion, it is thin, whereas the one-third portion at the interior side, that is thick, and that portion, that part of choroid, that one third portion which is thick, is called as the ciliary body. Okay. Then talking about iris. So this structure is called as the iris. Now this iris is again it is formed from this ciliary body. Okay. The ciliary body which continues to form a pigmented opaque structure, that is iris. Other than that, this iris is the visible portion of the eye जो आप अपने आंखों से देख पा रहे हो. This iris it regulate means the diameter of the pupil is regulated by the muscle of the iris, by the muscle fibers of the iris. So the diameter of pupil is regulated by the muscle fibers of the iris. Then talking about this cornea. So this cornea is the anterior portion of the sclera, means sclera का जो anterior portion है, it is forming cornea. Now this portion, this is iris, and this portion that you call as a pupil. So pupil is the aperture surrounded by the iris, and this is called that you call as the lens. So lens is a part of the eyeball, and it is a transparent crystalline structure, and the lens is placed by the ligaments attached to the ciliary body. Then we have the chambers. First is your aqueous chamber. This aqueous chamber is actually between your lens and between the cornea. Between the lens and the cornea, and is filled with the thin watery fluid which is called as the aqueous humor. This one. And vitreous chamber. See, vitreous chamber is actually between the lens. This is your lens. And this is the retina portion between the lens and the retina, and here the transparent gel is filled, that is called as the vitreous humor. Now next we have the photopigments. In our eyes we have mainly two main photopigments. Photopigments are what? They are light sensitive proteins. We have mainly two, one is your rod, other is your cone. See, rod, it is meant for the twin light vision, that is scotopic vision at the night time, and cones is meant for your daylight vision, that is phototopic vision, the color vision. See, rod, the rod is means the color of the rod is purplish red. It contains a purplish red protein, because of which its color is purplish red. And that protein, the name of that protein is called as the rhodopsin, which is also called as a visual purple, and is actually the derivative of vitamin A. Okay. So rod is purplish red in color because of a protein which is called rhodopsin, and this rhodopsin is actually the derivative of vitamin A. And this is a coincidence that the color blindness means the night blindness. The night blindness is because of the deficiency of vitamin A, and this vitamin A is the derivative by which the rhodopsin is made up of. So तो ये है. Then cones, we have mainly three different types of cones. One is red, green and blue. Now sensation of different colors are produced by various combination of cones and photopigments. If cones are stimulated equally, then the sensation that is produced is your white light. Then coming over the nerves and the area where the acuity is high and the area where is acuity is low. So first of all, see the arrangement of the photoreceptor cells, bipolar cells and ganglion cells from inside to outside. So inside portion means inside one and outside जो बाहर के side आपको आँख दिख रही है. ठीक है. So inside we have ganglions, then this bipole and this photoreceptor cells. Okay, blind spot is actually where the photoreceptor cells are not present. So the blind spot is present over here, जहाँ पे photoreceptor cells present नहीं होंगे, neither the cones, no cones. ठीक है. Then macular lutea. Macular lutea is a position which is posterior. This portion is the posterior pole of the eye, lateral to the blind spot. Means lateral position is this, lateral to the blind spot, and optic nerves. And here it contains a yellowish pigment. It contains a yellowish pigment. This macular lutea is a yellowish pigmented spot, and it has a pit. It has a central pit which we call as a fovea. Okay. And here the retinal blood vessels at the macular lutea. Here the retinal blood vessels, they enter. The retinal blood vessels enter from macular lutea, and the point medial to and slightly above the posterior pole of the eyeball. Position बता रहा है that where the retinal blood vessels enter. So retinal blood vessels enter at a point medial to and slightly above the posterior pole of the eyeball. Okay, ये हो गया. Then thinner portion of the retina. Cones are densely packed. Okay. So fovea. Fovea के बारे में ये है that fovea is that portion of the retina where the cones are densely packed. Yes, cones are densely packed means meant for the twin light vision. Sorry, meant for the color vision. Okay, meant for the color vision, and the visual acuity is high because cones, the amount of the cones, they are highest in number, and the resolution is also highest. Next, we have about the mechanism of the vision. So, mechanism of vision. The mechanism of vision, here the light rays, firstly light rays cornea पे जाएंगी, ठीक है, visible wavelength of the light will fall on the cornea, and then cornea के बाद lens पे जाएंगी. जैसे ही lens पे गिरेंगी ये light, there will be a generation of potential in the rods and the cones, जो कि आपके photopigments present होते हैं, उसमें potentials generate होगी. उससे क्या होगा कि जो ऑप्सन है, जो रेटिनल है, वो इस लाइट की वजह से अपने आप को डिसोशिएट करेंगे. ठीक है, डिसोशिएट करेंगे. ऑप्सन एंड रेटिनल क्या होते हैं? एक्चुअली दे आर द फोटोसेंसिटिव कंपोनेंट. दे आर फोटोसेंसिटिव कंपोनेंट्स मींस लाइट से इफेक्टिव होते हैं. ठीक, फोटोसेंसिटिव कंपोनेंट्स में हमारे आई में मेनली दो होते हैं. वन इज योर ऑप्सन which is a protein, and other one is your retinal which is a aldehyde of vitamin A. ठीक है. So because of the light there is a generation of potential in the rods, and the opsin and the retinal they both dissociate. Now when they dissociate तो opsin अब अलग हो गया. जब opsin अलग हो गया there is a changement in the structure of the opsin. Opsin का structure change हो जाएगा. अब जैसे ही structure opsin का change हुआ, there is a change in the membrane permeability as well. So change in the membrane permeability. अब membrane permeability में जैसे ही change आया, there is a potential difference which is generated in the photoreceptor cells, that is your rods and the cones. And when the generation of potential difference occur, a signal is produced, and this signal, how it passes, how it moves to the visual area in your brain is through the bipolar cells, then to the ganglionic cells, and with the help of this optic nerve, it will reach out to the visual cortex area of the brain, where you may have some experiences. According to that experiences, you will analyze the image on the retina. So mechanism of vision, we can say that firstly the light rays of the visible wavelength, they fall on the cornea, then on the lens, and there is a generation of potential in the rods and the cones, because of which there is a dissociation of opsin and retinal, and there is a change in the structure of the opsin which leads to the change in membrane permeability, and a potential difference is generated in the photoreceptor cells, that is rods and cones, and then the signal is produced which passes through the bipolar cells to ganglionic cells through the optic nerves to the visual cortex area of the brain. So this is how the mechanism takes place. So this was all about the eye structure. Thank you so much. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.